and welcome back. We are having a nice Saturday at home today. We had rugby in the morning. I've changed out of all my cosy rugby things. I go to rugby with full-on long-sleeved, old hoodie top, jacket, big furry headband. I get too cold when I'm sitting doing nothing. I did suggest to the parents that we're all standing, why don't we do exercise? And that's partly because I said I was going to, and Steve was like, you cannot be on the sidelines doing squats and doing lunges when all the other parents are watching. And I said, what happens if I get everyone else involved and then all the parents are doing it and then I won't be the only one and therefore it won't be so cringeworthy for the children. Not sure if I will. However, I've changed out of all that. I take a little seat, a little fold-out seat, and I sit there with my cup of tea. I didn't take a magazine today, but I usually take my Country Homes magazine as well. But we're having a day of sorting things out, and Dad is downstairs in the cellar insulating what will be my laundry cupboard so that I can dry clothes in there. It used to have the heat of the boiler. Sorry, the dishwasher's on. The heat of the boiler would be enough to dry my clothes, but the boiler's now situated in the garage, so it's only the hot water tank and there's not much heat comes off of that. So Dad has kindly put in, I'm totally spoiled, he's kindly put in a radiator for me. I'll head downstairs to the cellar and show you what Dad has been doing. But before I do, I will insert some old videos of what it looked like before, and I will pop back to current day. Before I head downstairs to the cellar to see Dad, I want to show you these. So on our wedding, because I lived in Glasgow when we were planning our wedding, and we went to lots of wedding fairs in Glasgow, and there was this amazing man who did silhouettes, and he just basically stood there and he just went like this with a pair of scissors and created these beautiful silhouettes. So he had never been as far north as Aberdeen, but if we paid his travelling expenses, he would come up to our wedding. So he did. And he did the guests when we were getting our photos done. We had a magician for like the children and for the adults. He did some card tricks and things. And we also had this the silhouette artist man go around and do everyone's silhouette. And he put them into little cards that they could take away. So they had a memento from the day. Rather than just keeping like the invite or the order service, they had their own silhouette. And a lot of the people really liked that because obviously they got a silhouette of themselves. So they really enjoyed that aspect of the wedding. So much so that my bridesmaid, when she got married in Glasgow, so it was a little bit less distance for him to travel, when she got married and I was her bridesmaid, she got the same guy to come and do hers. Sorry, this is all dusty. Same guy to come and do hers. She did it as her wedding book. So he cut the silhouette out of the person. You kept one as a souvenir and one went in the book. But it was done individually. So each person was done individually. So this is obviously a twin, the bride and groom, but all the other guests were done just individually, just one. So when he was there, I went up to him and said, I know that it was 5 years ago and you probably don't remember me, but you did a wedding up in Aberdeen, the only one he'd done up in Aberdeen. So he did remember it. And I said, is there any chance, we've had 2 children since then, is there any chance you'd mind doing an extra little bit for me and do Barclay and Grace? So Barclay was 3 at the time and Grace was 1. And that's her little bow. And they've both got long eyelashes. So this was a perfect thing to match mine. Now I put them in frames with our logo and the date of our wedding, and this is the colour of our bridesmaids. And then the same for my best friend. Her details are down there, I won't show you them. But it looked really weird because I had my best friend's name underneath their picture, and it never really sat right with me. And I also didn't like the fact that this is a silhouette, but it's sort of on its own in a box frame. So I came up with the idea that I'm going to swap them out here and put them into glass frames, just where it's just glass bordered with brass so that it's see-through. And then the plan is when we renovate the vestibule at the front of the house, with the front door, I would put them against the wallpaper that will be there. So I've ordered samples, which have arrived, which I will show you. And the plan was to have the clear frame, so when it's against the wallpaper, you'll see the wallpaper at the back, so that you're not taking away from the wallpaper by having this big picture, but you will be able to see the wallpaper through the frame. That's the plan. Anyway, let me put these to the side and I'll open up the box that's arrived, which is here. I'll put them to the side.
the box is here. So I'm going to open up. I've never ordered anything from Rex London before. So I'm interested to see what it looks like inside. It's been here for a little while, so I'm hoping that it's not broken inside because I haven't opened it yet. So let me go and get my parcel opener and I'll open it with you. I'll pop you up somewhere so that you can see what I'm doing. My stand's a bit wobbly. I've just popped you on the stand, but it's like tilted. You can still see me though, so it's fine. I've decided to change my glasses. So at the weekends, on a Friday, I used to always put on makeup on a Friday and get dressed up so I had a day that felt good. And I'm thinking that at the weekends I should at least do something different so it feels like the weekend. So I've changed into my dress glasses, which are Mulberry. And it just feels so different. They feel different than my normal everyday wearing glasses. So it's quite nice to change. And also, I don't wear my wedding rings since lockdown. I just stopped wearing them because I was doing jobs. I was out in the garden most days and they just got in the way. My wedding rings usually sit just up here. I'm going to try and put them on at the weekend so that I can feel it's the weekend. Let's get into this. Right. I've got 2 openers, both of which are nowhere to be seen. I'm hoping this looks really nice and I'm hoping it's okay because I haven't checked it. Right. It's well packaged. Some polystyrene on top. Oh, they're lovely. Now I did measure it. They look a lot bigger than I was expecting, but that's a good thing because they'll stand out even more. Got a beautiful velvet string on the top. I might change this out depending on what my colour schemes are. I've got black velvet that I might change it out to, but it's just a clear frame like this with the beautiful bronze detailing. And I wanted one with the clasp at the top. I see so many with the clasp at the side and I just didn't want that. I wanted it to be at the top so that I could push it out the way so you can't really see. You know, slide it back like this. And it'll hang like that with the silhouette cut out in the centre. Right, let me get the other one out. So that one looks intact and looks fine. So I've got 2. Really, really beautiful. I'm really delighted with the quality as well because I've never ordered from Rex before, so I didn't know what it would be like. But that is really beautiful. So my job just now is I'm going to very carefully take the silhouettes out and try and place them into here. And I just hope I can take them out without damaging them because I've obviously been on the back of that photo frame. Wish me luck. The last 10 minutes being annoyed at myself because I stuck them onto the white card thinking that's a project done. These ones came off really simply, but these ones, I ended up having to cut this section here. Has got white behind it because I had to just cut it out because it was so stuck on, but I'm loving how they look. What do you think? I really like it. I don't think they look very good without anything behind them. I think it's going to look much better when I show you the samples, but I really love how elegant they look. And I think these will look great at the front door as well because you're coming into a period property. This kind of gives a period sort of vibe. And I think that's quite nice when you first come in. Rather than a photograph, it kind of harks back to olden times, which I absolutely love. I just think they're so unique and so special. I'm delighted with them. Sometimes the decisions I made for our wedding have been worth it. It's really good. I'm so glad my best friend had the same guy at her wedding, or I wouldn't be able to get Barclay and Grace to complete our family. The old ones. The old one here is the first one that I fell in love with for the front vestibule. Now this is gold and black. It is a Hicks Hexagon design from the Contemporary collection. Product codes there, 66-8056 if you're looking for it. And I just fell in love with this Cool & Son wallpaper when I first saw it. I bought this from Designer Wallpapers. I've got it sent. I can't remember if I paid for it or if it was free. Oh, got a bit of black pen on my hand. Oops. Yeah, I can't remember if I ended up paying for this. I think I paid for this one for the sample, but I fell in love with it. I just love how the print is like a hand-printed hexagon gold in the middle, but the rest is normal wallpaper. It's good thickness as well, and the idea was to have that black door at the front and then have this obviously hanging on the wall looks amazing. Oh, I'm so delighted with it. Oh, I love it. I love how that looks. That looks so good. Yeah, it's exactly what I'm looking for. However, I ordered a different colour in the same pattern and I need your help. So in the description box below, this will be called dark and I'm going to show you the light one. Now, I'm not sure. Let me open it up one-handed and get it out. Now, I ordered this one from, what's the name of the company? It's still obviously a Cole & Son wallpaper, but from Wallpaper Direct. I ordered both of them again so that I could tell the difference. Okay, so this is the other one. It's a little bit more subtle. The gold's more a bronzy gold, and the black colour is more of a dark grey. And I really love let me show you them up next to each other. I really love this colour more so than this colour. This is more of a greeny colour and this is more of a beige. Next to each other, I just can't decide. Let me put one underneath. Let's put one underneath one. So this one, let me show you what it is called. It's also a hex again, the same, Cole & Son, but the code is 95-3016, just in case you're looking for the same one. But let me put that one under this one, so we get an idea. Oh, I like that too. That's maybe a bit more subtle and a little bit more elegant. Let me do them separately. So that is quite a striking design. I really quite like the contrast, and I like how that's black. And it really does, make a feature of it. But I wonder if this is just a little bit more delicate for the full, what the haul's going to be. And the only issue, does it look like it's faded? I can't decide if it looks like it's just been faded or if it only looks faded because it's next to that one. I think I prefer the golds in that. I think I prefer the golds in this one, which is more of a bronzy colour. I think I prefer the gold. Oh, it's a tough one. I love them both. I think that's the difficulty, is because I do love them both. And when I see them there, you see I prefer this one. Oh, right. Comment below if you get as far in this vlog. Comment below, dark or light. Which one is your favourite, dark or light? And then we'll see who is the winner. I can't decide. I think it depends on what colour scheme I'm doing, because when you see that separately, I thought that might be a winner, but then this is such a striking piece. I think it might be more of a statement. When I'm going for a statement wallpaper anyway, this might be more of a statement, but I love the colours in this rather than the greeny colour in there. I've loved this wallpaper for so long. You know what, I'll probably wait so long that it'll be discontinued or I'll find something else I prefer by the time we actually do the vestibule. But I really, really love this statement piece, especially when the rest of the hall is going to be plain now. Please let me know what you think. I would love your help. Thank you. But yeah, this is what we inherited. Look at all the pipes and all the wires. This is going to be all changed for the new system. And all this is our heating system. It's on different sections, different zones. So it's a bit of a mess, but we're going to get all that sorted now and get the new boiler in the garage, and this will be disappearing. I'll get more day in the Bowman household. Bowray is documenting that this is the last use of the boiler. We've been waiting for the last of the oil to be used up. The new boiler is up and running, so we have been operating it in conjunction with this one just to finish off the oil, just to not waste it. And the boiler was working fine as well. Crazy, but look at the amount of water. We've stopped mopping it up because it was just constant. So we just opened the drain and let it flow in, because it's just trickling in. It's just constant. So it's now on lockout, which we've seen a number of times, and usually it made us feel really sad because when it was locked out it meant it wasn't working. But it's locked out now because we've run out of oil. So we're about to turn this baby off for its last time, and we're going to say bye to it and move over to the new boiler. It served us well. Okay, the last little while we could have seen it far enough, but that is it, finished. It's time for it to retire. We're away to turn it off. Dad's going to drain down the system that's still operating on this half, and then he can get rid of all the pipe work and get rid of the boiler, rid of the pipe work that's serving the house, and switch it over onto the new system. So what we did was we ran both boilers. We had half the new system up and running with half the radiators,
and then kept half of the old system up and running so that we could transition from one to the other without having any loss of heating. So this one's now going to go, and then Dad is able then to connect the new boiler to the new pipes and serve the other half of the radiators that were being served by this boiler. And then be able to, he's already set up ready for connecting the new hot water tank, well, this hot water tank, not the new one, sorry, the new boiler to this hot water tank. He's got it ready to go. So we'll be able to do that as well. But for now we've got the immersion anyway, so up at the top here. So the immersion will keep us going until we get it set up for the new boiler. But yeah, momentous occasion. So I am about to turn off the main isolation switch here, which will turn the boiler off, and then that'll be bye-bye to the boiler. Are we ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye. Bye, boiler. We're removing all the old pipe work from the old heating system. Now the boiler is decommissioned, and we can strip out all the old pipe work and then finally get the boiler out of here. A lot of pipes, Daddy.
I know. Getting there. It's a lot done a day.
Amazing. So Dad's been working away in what was the boiler cupboard. The boiler was down here, if you remember, and then this was a complete shelf. Dad's just trimmed this bit to make it easy for access and then propped it up. It's got a support here anyway, and this is the old hot water tank. We have ordered a new hot water cylinder to arrive, and we've decided we were going to keep this one, and then we realised that we're going to be dropping this down onto a base that Dad has made down here, and we figured we'd as well changing it now before the children become teenagers to give us more hot water at the front of the house. There's another hot water cylinder for what's called the extension, but the bit that's at the back of the house. It was built at the same time, but it's called the extension. So there's a hot water cylinder there that's the same size as this for the back section of the house, but this one does the front section, and the 4 of us will eventually be having long showers in the morning, and this probably just does the 2 of us. If I'm washing my hair, one of us has a cold shower depending on who goes first and who goes second. So we're going to increase the volume to, what size are we going up to, Dad? An 1800?
1800 by 450.
1800 by 450. So this one at the moment is what's this?
900 by 450.
A 900 by 450. Up there. So we're going to be doubling the amount of hot water we're going to have. So hopefully that'll mean the 4 of us can have showers when the children are a little bit older. So Dad has framed this wall, and we're going to be plasterboarding that and sheeting it, and the same at the back, which is the stone wall at the back. And you can see there was an access point to the chimney up there, wasn't there? Where you
The flue went in there.
Yeah.
There's an access point down here for sweeping the chimney.
Yeah.
It's all cemented up.
So this is where we're at the moment. So Dad has used a soft mix to fill a wheat mix, sorry, to fill.
And that's the 2 sleeves for the flow and return for the hot tank from the boiler.
Excellent.
They'll come through that.
And then over to here, he's put sheaths onto these sleeves, onto these to allow him to cement around it, and then we can plug any holes with steel wool before we plasterboard it up. And it's a wheat mix so that if we did ever have to remove it in the future, then it's not got too much concrete in it. So what's the difference in the mix, Dad, for a wheat mix?
The wheat mix, it was about 10 to 1.
And what would you normally do for a strong mix?
Strong mix 5 to 1.
So a strong mix is 5 to 1, and this is a wheat mix
5 to 1.
Of 10 to 1, so it's half the strength of cement. So this is current day. This is how it's looking just now. Eventually the hot tank will come out. This is the old one, and then we've got a new one that will go back a little bit further. This will be gone, and it will be dropped down. It goes from all the way from the floor all the way up, and it'll be situated a little bit further back. And the plan is to have a section here with rails, so I'll be able to hang some clothes. So what we've done here is we've put framing along here and framed the wall out because it's just an old wall that's been painted. So Dad's going to plasterboard it for me to make it nice. But in order to stop any damp coming through, the ground level sort of is about here. But Dad's just gone a bit further up just to ensure with bitumen paint. And that bitumen paint he's done all the way round. And then he's now insulating the walls so that'll keep my heat in. So it'll be a lovely warm room. We have also got a radiator going in. Is it this wall the radiator's going on, Dad?
The radiator's going on here.
Oh, the radiator's going on here.
That's the outside wall. So obviously there's a thicker frame in there and thicker insulation because it's an outside wall. Ground level's about there, so I'm up well above it.
So what is this special type of insulation, Dad?
Yes, it's rigid thermal. Right to sell. It's just solid insulation. It melts like 150 a glass wool. Or something like
Equivalent
that.
of, so 50 mil is equivalent of like 150 mil of glass wool.
Like
so it save room in a room like this where we're trying to save space because it's obviously not very big. Then it's an ideal alternative to glass wool because it gives you the same thermal insulation as it would 3 times the amount of glass wool. So the plan is to have a radiator in this wall, have racks here, like the pulley system, but ones that tilt this way, so that I can have it out like this, so I can put all my clothes on for the normal washing. Bog standard, normal pants, socks, t-shirts, trousers. They would hang, so it'd have like a high one, a medium one and a low one, or even more than that. And have it coming out to maybe about here, and have loads of rungs. And then if they're able to hinge down onto the wall, I can then take my normal drying racks, which I've got here, and just pull it through. Oops, I'm knocking stuff down as I'm doing it. These sort of racks, which don't look very pleasant, but they're ideal for when I've got our bedding. If I can't hang the bedding out, and also with hay fever, I like to not hang it out if I can avoid it. But if I'm drying bed linen in here, then these will be ideal. Once the hot tank's back a bit, we've measured it should be enough to fit 2. So one here and one here, and I've got 2 of these already. So they're not very pretty, but how many people are going to be seeing my drying room really? We're calling it a drying room. I called it a laundry cupboard upstairs, but we've just decided in our tea talk about a second ago, we're going to call it the drying room, just like in a ski lodge. That's how I'm imagining it, a drying room. So I'm going to paint this white, and then once it's plasterboarded, paint that white. Just keep it nice and crisp. I haven't discussed with Dad, but would it be okay, Dad, to put like a panel, maybe drill out loads of holes on a panel of MDF in front of the hot water tank so the heat can still come through? Look at Dad's worried face, like, an extra thing that Lynn just come up with. But like, so it looks pretty. Like the radiator covers, like the panels that
you get sheets of them,
yeah, you get sheets of them. I'll see what cost they are, but if MDF's cheaper and it's just a case of drilling holes, then I'll drill the holes, don't worry. Drill the hole, just holes all the way along, and have that in front of the hot water tank, so it just looks nice, and paint that white. But Dan is going to be putting a radiator in here, so that because there's not an awful lot of heat comes from the hot water tank itself, and the heat that we were getting was when if you remember from the clip before, when the boiler was in the bottom here, the heat that was generated from that warmed this room up nicely. But it's obviously gone now, so Dad is kindly putting a radiator in for me. Now, we had discussed taking it off the radiator above, which is the lounge, but then the problem with that is that in the summer, when it's maybe raining outside and I can't hang out my washing, the boiler will be off because the heating will be off, so therefore my radiator in here wouldn't be on. But if Daddy instead is going to attach it to the hot water tank, so we'll always need hot water throughout the whole year, so if he attaches it, is it just piped to the top? How do you do it, Dad? Just a pipe off of it?
Just flowing return off.
So
return off of the actual flow return to the hot tank.
So there's a flow return that goes in the hot tank. Now, if you follow me for a while, I am obviously a plumber's daughter and have been a plumber's daughter all my life, but I did not realise until very recently in my adult life that the hot water in the tank isn't the hot water that's been heated by the boiler. So the boiler heats the hot water in a coil that goes up the centre of your hot water tank, and the heat from that water going through the coil is transferred to the water contained in the tank and heats it up that way. I've only known for a little while that it's not actually the water from the boiler that goes into here. It gets heated by the boiler and goes into here, and that's your hot water. That it heats a coil. I'm sure a lot of you already knew that, but yes, I just didn't realise that until late on in my adult life. Anyway, so Dad is going to do a flow and return from the hot water tank so that in the summer, all through the year, all 365 days, we will have our hot water on. So my radiator will still be able to control it by the thermostat on the radiator, but it will be on all the time at the time that our hot water's on. So it's a bit better than having it on off the heating system. So that is great. So this will be my little hot room. I've got a bit of painting to do. The laundry room won't be renovated just now, but we're just getting this done. We've got some of these terracotta tiles out in the garage, so we are hoping to continue the terracotta tiling inside here, because my plan in the future is I've already looked at a stencil that'll do these, and I'm planning to keep this colour but do black and white, or black and cream, black and taupe stencil. Also looking for a way of being able to cover this hole as well for the trap, which was very handy when the boiler was leaking, because we could put all the water into there. So yeah, that is the plan of action for today's day. I am taking advantage of it and I'm out in the greenhouse. As you can see, I haven't been trimming leaves or anything. Oh, let's see if I can point there. There's so much work to do. We're at the tail end of the season, but we've still got some cucumbers coming out. You can see that. And our peppers, green peppers. This is quite good, isn't it, this way round? Our green peppers are coming. This one's a funny shape, but hopefully it'll taste good. And there's some more cucumbers at the back there. So apparently when the cucumber gets rounded at the bottom, see this one, let's see if I can, see how it gets a bit rounded at the bottom? Apparently that means it's ready. So that one is ready to pick as well. So I've got a few bits of pruning to do. Our chili peppers are, you can see the little white flowers, so they should be coming into fruiting pretty soon, but I need to water them. They're getting, and it's all, look how much condensation there is in the roof, because it's very hot in here. I opened up the doors, and I'm in my working clothes because today, and my working trainers, yes, I have an old Hoover, because I plan, once this floor is clear, I plan to Hoover my greenhouse. It's easier than brushing. Brushing causes so much dust. Whereas it's an old Hoover, it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm in my working gear today because there is a gentleman coming to pick up our old oil tank today. So as you know, we've put in a new heating system. If you follow me on Instagram at Bowray Design, we've been putting in a new heating system since October last year. Dad is a retired plumber, so Bobby Ray has been putting in the full system, replumbing, repiping, everything under the floorboards. So it's a lot of work, and we finished using the oil tank at the end of March when we transitioned onto the new oil tank and the new boiler. And the gentleman bought it, I'd put it on for sale in the February in preparation, and he bought it back in February, but then at the end of March, obviously lockdown happened. So this is him finally being able to come and collect it. So that'll clear the section, if you remember from my last vlog, when I did the bikes in behind there, you'd have seen an old green oil tank. That is the oil tank that's going today. So it'll make it look so much nicer. The coal bunker's beside it, and it'll just look a lot neater in that area. So it'll be nice to get rid of that. The other oil tank is at the other side of the garage in the garden section, but eventually we'll be boxing that in so you won't see it and it'll look a lot nicer. So I am going to go and tackle this while the sun is shining. It's a job I've been putting off for ages. Right, I will pop you on a time lapse and I will see you when this is all completely tidied and sorted. From the greenhouse, considering we keep on top of picking all the fruit and veg as we go, and I came outside to pick my massive aubergine that I showed you in the very first vlog or second vlog. Massive aubergine, and I showed you the pumpkins, and I obviously missed this bad boy here. Look at the size of him. He's perfect. Look, I need to get some straw underneath it to stop them from getting rotten. But how good is that one? I love it. I don't see any other ones that size. Can't believe I missed it. Oh, hello. Hi. Wow. You're pretty amazing. Oh, bye. This is a tank. This is the old tank that's getting taken away. This is our log, our coal
coal store and our Kindler store, and we are away to empty out the remaining oil. We've jacked it up. About an hour ago we jacked up the tank so it's all sitting forward, and the sediment will be settled at the front so we can drain the full amount out. And we're using an old pair of my tights so that we can get rid of any gunk that's in the old tank, and we can reuse the oil into the new tank, and then this tank will be going on. It's a slow trickle. There's no header, there's no pressure obviously because it's a low amount of oil that's in, so there's not a lot of forcing it through. So it's just going to be a slow process. The amount of oil that's in there though will be good. It should keep us going for a couple of days heating, which is good. Every little counts. We could disconnect this bottom filter bit and then just let it pour, but we're trying to keep the oil as clean as possible and filtering it through with this pair of tights. I joked with Dad that I wanted them back. So that is it gone. I'm trying to think what to use this space for. Thinking maybe a hot tub. I don't know. Not sure what we're going to use it for, but that is it cleared. It looks so much better not having the big tank. I've got to paint these before winter. I sprayed it already. This was all green, but I used my Pro Clean spray to get rid of the green, and it's really worked. Even here, look, this is all green. Where you see it's white, it was all green. So it's looking much better. You can obviously see I've missed a little bit there. You see that little bit there in the corner? See the difference? I've missed that bit, and that bit was sprayed. So it's a huge difference. I'll need to give them a paint, and then I think we're going to dismantle this. I did over in my last video. This is clearly not an aubergine. It's clearly a courgette. Emma's picked a few apples for doing an apple pie tonight for dinner for dessert. So yeah, it's a good haul. I can't believe the size of this. Look at that. I think maybe we were supposed to pick it before it got to this size, so I hope it still tastes okay. It's massive. I think I might freeze some down as well. I'm not sure if courgette would freeze down, but that'll definitely eke out our stir fry tonight. It'd be lovely, and get some peppers in the stir fry too. They just look lovely. Look at the size of that. Delicious. Yum, yum, yum. I'm admiring my trug. She didn't know I had one, but I got this about 5 years ago from a local shop called For Martins. Oh, what's that on the floor? Oh, I think I've dropped something on the floor. Yeah, I got this from For Martins about 5 years ago. I had a voucher to use, and I just love it. It's getting a bit worse for wear now, but I use it all the time. It's so handy. I'm going to go and clean that up. I don't know what that is. I think I must have dropped something. We had lunch outside today in the beautiful sunshine, so I carried all the plates in at once, and as you can imagine, it was not the most sensible of ideas. I think I've just dropped something on the floor. Go and give it a clean up, and then I'm going to go back out and carry on the outside area. Still haven't finished weeding. Still have the weeding to do, so I'm going to go out and finish the weeding just now. The weather is supposed to actually be nice until Tuesday, and then it's supposed to pour with rain. I am back out in the greenhouse after dinner, and I've just finished off. You can see they've had a severe haircut. I don't know what I'm doing. I am trying my best. It means I get to see my Screen with Envy screens that are at the back of the greenhouse. Now, I placed these up before we had plants, and they are fantastic. Let me turn you around. They were fantastic for when we didn't have the plants all the way up. They sort of decorate the back wall, and I've just, if you look at the back there, I've just put them on with hooks and some twine, so it has that lovely feel onto the beautiful wood that's at the back of the greenhouse, and they just hung perfectly on the wall. Oops, the plant's in the way. It just hung perfectly on the wall to give us a little bit of aesthetics to the greenhouse. It looks a little bit nicer, which is great, but I'm hoping these tomatoes will all come out pretty soon and turn red and give us some lovely juicy red tomatoes. Look at the wall there. That was because a piece of ivy got in. I've trimmed it now, it was there. A piece of ivy got in. So I'm gonna have to get my Pro Clean spray out and give it a spray, but I am done for the night, and I'm going to head inside, have a cup of tea before taking the children to bed. I might pick those lovely juicy tomatoes before I go in. Yum, I missed them because they were behind all the leaves, although they still got turned red, so I'm going to wait to take them inside. But yeah, I'm not a gardener. I'm trying my very best. The chili peppers, let me go over and show you them. They are coming on really well. I've got quite a few flowers that will hopefully turn into fruits. Quite a few there as well. So I'm hoping that they will turn into fruits pretty soon and they will be excellent on our pizzas. These are actually from a chili pepper that we got from Bear and Ellen, and Barkley wanted to save them. So he grew them all up himself, and he also shared a few with our friends, and these are the ones that we're left with. And they're growing really well with our friends as well. So hopefully they will have some chili peppers to enjoy very soon too. Wow, I'm just coming with a well-deserved cup of tea. What a difference in here! I'll be like the greenhouse. Wow! I did help Dad carry down one of the plasterboard sheets, but it hadn't been fixed. It's all fixed to the wall now. It's been taped, and Dad's filling in all the screw holes. Wow, Dad, what a difference that makes. It looks so much cozier already.
That's the first coat. Yes.
How many coats does it need?
There'll be another 2 coats of finish.
2 coats of finish. What is it that you're putting on?
This is fast set, just for putting on the tapes.
Fast set, so you just put a little bit on and then slide it off, so it's as smooth as possible.
Yeah.
You make it look easy, Dad. You make it look easy. Excellent. What a difference. Wow, it actually feels brighter as well. It's like the light's so much brighter.
It's certainly cozy.
Oh, is it getting warmer?
It is cozy.
Is it? Good job you haven't put the new tank in.
No.
So Dad had to get round with the plasterboard. Dad cut the corner off of this so he could slide it round the corner and put it up against the back wall. And I must admit I was sceptical, but he measured it out and it worked perfectly, didn't it, Dad?
Just as. I wasn't sure it was going to work either.
Oh, I can't believe how cozy it feels. It also feels less like it's like before there was like spiders and things, but now it's going to be completely sealed. There's going to be a roof going on. Let me put this cup of tea down so I can... Your cup of tea's right behind you, Dad,
Oh,
okay?
lovely, thanks.
Yeah, this will all be completely sealed. So just now, it always felt like things were going to fall down on your head. But this is going to be completely sealed. They're just going to have a small ceiling light up here. Just a bathroom one that I'll do for the moisture that's in here. Nothing fancy. Although I have been trying to look for a fancy version of it. But that's going to go, this will be completely covered and then this will be painted white. So it's going to feel so nice. It's going to be a nice place to be in. And I spend a lot of time hanging out clothes, as I'm sure the majority of you guys do too. It's looking brilliant, Dad. Well done.
You
It's a shame you've been inside when the weather's been so nice.
It was such a black kind of hole, wasn't it, where the boiler was?
Oh, it was, yeah. It was just a dark and dingy. It was a
Old
horrible room. And I literally just opened the door, put the clothes in and closed it again. And then tried to spend as little time as possible in. That's looking great. Can I help you with anything?
No, that's it, thanks. That's it.
Quite handy coming down just at the end. Oh, what a shame it's all finished. Oh, I planned that well. Very good. Oh, well, enjoy a cup of tea. I can
Will
help you
do.
tidy up if you want. Outside,
Just
need to tidy up?
it.
I'll tidy up just now then.
I can't get the rest of the ceiling done until this tank's it away.
Perfect.
I've sheeted far enough over so that we can work above the new
Oh,
tank.
yeah, I didn't realise there was a ceiling on.
Yeah, we can work above the new tank here.
Oh, fantastic, Dad.
And then get the new platform made for it.
And then I'll be ready for me to paint.
Yeah.
Woohoo! It's called fast set for a reason, because it goes off really quickly. So that's why Dad had to work really fast, because it does go off. Going off just means like this, when it's a bit crumbly and it's not a thick paste anymore. And you've got to work quickly before it gets to that, because you can't obviously use it anymore. But that's it all done. Get having a cup of tea. I should have taken my cup of tea down too.